All right, good morning, traders. Today is February 14th, 2025. My name is John Kerrigan. Thank you for being here, and happy Valentine's Day. All right. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land and podcast land, and everybody out there. Appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing and finding the value in my content. All right, so my SPY pivot this morning, 605.84. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five, all right, except Diamond Dow, are in daily uptrends. Not to say Diamond Dow is not moving up. It is, okay? All made higher highs and higher lows, closing over bullish traps. Over their 17 EMAs, SPY closed with 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Silver and gold, both in uptrends. Gold made a new all-time high. Silver made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a trap. Over the 17, UNG and USO, both in daily uptrends. UNG made a higher high and a higher low, closing over the trap. Over the 17, USO made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap. Under the 17, US dollar index still in a downtrend, closed near the 107.08 area. SPY max pain for today, 604, with 2 puts to each call that expires today at 4:15. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. Let's get rid of this one. Our SPY pivot, all right, 605.84. All right, let's put this down. Zoom in on the 10-minute. You can see we've got price action. See the candles, that's the price action. Okay, and the yellow line, that's the 3-period moving average, or the 3 EMA, is up over the 8 EMA, that's the white line. All right, and over the 17, that's the green dots. Okay, and up over VWAP, that's the burnt brown line right there, burnt orange right there. So we have a 10-minute uptrend going into the close. All we're going to need to get started this morning, we're looking for continuation of that uptrend. All right, so all we need is a 10-minute candle. Can't be a doji candle, and it can't be a topping wick candle. So we don't want a candle that's got way more wick than body and tail. All right, because that tells us that the bears are in control there. So we don't want to buy when the bears are in control. We want to buy when the bulls are in control. So if you look at that candle right there, big wick. See, it's got more wick than body and tail. We can't buy that one. All right? You can if you want to, but I'm just saying it's like that's not in my plan. All right? Everybody's got a plan here at the BYOB Trading Room. You kind of want to have a plan, right? You don't want to buy something where the bears are in control. We don't want to buy red candles because that tells us the bears are in control because it's red. All right? It moved up and then it's moving down. The reason it's moving down, the reason it's red is because it's moving down. So we don't want to buy when the bears are in control. So we don't want a topping wick candle, and we don't want buy a red candle when the bears are in control. And we don't want to buy a doji candle, all right? Because a doji candle has, it's a short little candle with equal wick, pretty much equal tail, all right? So if the buyers and the sellers agree on this spot, we really don't want to buy that candle either, because it kind of shows us that they're in agreement, all right? There's no edge. We want to buy a candle where the bulls are stepping in and they're ready to take it to higher highs, all right? That's the candle we want, all right? Not a little doji candle, okay, because that tells us they're either resting or they agree on the price, all right? Don't want a topping wick, all right, because the bears controlled that, most of that candle, all right? So we want to buy a candle where the bulls are in control and they're ready to move higher, all right? That's for a continuation of our 10-minute uptrend, all right? What we want to see, like we saw yesterday, is a 10-minute uptrend that runs away from VWAP, all right? We want to see it run away from VWAP. In other words, break away from that burnt orange line and move up, way up higher, okay? Those are the opportunities to make a lot of money, okay? So we had 2 yesterday, all right, that opened up and ran away from VWAP. We had a run rate through here, okay? So you can see the 10-minute uptrend running away from VWAP. So there was one right there. And then we had another one right after the pullback right through here. Okay, so now what I like to see is, I like to see where green erases red. So let's move this over just for a second. All right, and let's talk about green erases red. All right, so let's move this over. Okay, so all of this didn't happen yet yesterday. Okay, so you can see where red was operating right through here. See how red, we move from this high down to this low, from this high down to this low. Okay, so that was the bears operating, having a pullback. Okay, so that would be the red that I would want to erase. So I take a box, all right, and try to make it a red box. All right, so when this is the bears operating, all right, so when you see price move up over, in other words, the bulls come in and erase what the bears have done, okay, that's where I want to enter. Okay, that tells me that the bulls just erased everything that the bears did, and now they're ready to go higher. So those are my entry points right there. So you can see right there's a green candle. All right, no topping wick, right, no doji, right, no red candle. Okay, the bulls are stepping in there, and you can see you get rewarded if you enter here and you take it up to the top where you see the doji right here. All right, there's a place to get out. You don't have to get out there. Sometimes it goes higher. There's a red engulfing candle. There's a good candle to go out. So there, as you can see, you can take price, all right, from a location down here, 604.61, and ride it up to, well, you don't know this red candle is going to be red till it finishes, right? So you can ride it all the way up to 606.74. That's a $2 run. All right. Now, if you got a zero DTE, which I do not recommend buying, but if you got a zero DTE, that's a $2 increase. If you've got 10 zero DTE contracts, all right, at the correct price, in the money, or maybe just a little bit out of the money, all right, usually a $2 run can give you $1,000 for each dollar if you've got 10 of them. All right, so 10 of them would take you up to $2,000, right up to there. All right, that's a $2 run, entering here, exiting here. All right, so 10. All right, if you held all 10 all the way up there, all right, and you got $2, that would be $2,000. Same thing happens here. Green erases red. So we go down here and we pull up the red. All right, here's the red operating right here from that high. One more time. Up here from this high, and they pull it back to here. All right, so you want to see green erase red. So you find a spot where green erases red. Now you could have it right here. Green erases that red and enter on this candle, or you could wait and enter on this candle right here. Again, that represents probably another $2 run. All right, so price from there, 607.53 up to 609.53. There's another $2 right there if you got a zero DTE, all right, which I don't advocate buying, but I'm just saying that if you know what you're doing and you're prepared to manage that correctly, if you had 10 of them, that would have rewarded you with probably close to $2,000 right there on that SPY right up there, okay? In the money. If they were in the money, SPY zero DTEs. Now your best paying contracts are going to be your zero DTE in the money contracts. All right, those will pretty much pay you penny for penny any of the gains that price takes up there. All right. Now, if you don't like that much risk and you want to still participate, and what I do when I'm first starting out is I buy something that's $2 to $5 out of the money. All right, because I don't want to take on that penny for penny risk, because it can go against you just as well. So I like to pick $2 to $5 out of the money, all right? And I like to pick Friday options, all right, that have a lot of open interest on. So I wouldn't be picking today's options because those are zeros, all right? At least with a 7 DTE option, I would have some time to fix it, all right? Because these expire, those 0 DTE SPY options, they're going to expire today at 4:15, all right? So you better have it ready and you better have a plan if things go against you. All right, so that's my entries. If you followed the SPY game plan from yesterday, which was green erases red entry right here, you made money. All right, SPY game plan yesterday, QQQ game plan, same deal. You made money. If you followed the SPY game plan or the QQQ game plan that I posted up in the social media and up here in the room. All right, so there's SPY. We have a 10-minute uptrend. You guys know what we need to buy to get into this for a continuation pattern. We are up near the all-time highs. The all-time high is 610.78. Please recognize that that is the all-time high. I don't know whether we will go through. I don't know whether we'll bounce around and hit it and come back down. It will be interesting to see what happens today. We are only $1 away from $1. Let's just call it $1.25, $1.50 away from the all-time high currently. All right, so there's SPY. Let's take a look at the 2-hour chart. 2-hour chart. Got a 2-hour uptrend. You got the price candle with the 3 EMA, that's the thin yellow line, over the white line. Okay, that's the 8 EMA. All that over the green dots, that's the 17 EMA. So you have a 2-hour uptrend. All right, we have a 10-minute uptrend. On the daily chart, we have a higher high, so we have now negated the downtrend. We're now back into a daily uptrend. Okay, we have a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA up near the all-time highs. This is a bullish environment. You've got a higher low. I would look for price to make a higher high. It's already done that right there. And it's very possible it makes a new all-time high. All right, we'll see what happens. If they consolidate up here, okay, near the all-time highs, that will be very bullish looking, because that would mean a rest, and they would be ready to go on Monday or next week. All right, so looking for price to either consolidate or move higher. So there's SPY on the daily chart. Those are all bullish events. All right, SPY over the trap, over the 17. Both of those are bullish events. You can see if we back way out on the quad lines, we're way up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. We're showing an inverted head and shoulders. That's bullish. We are in a bullish environment. All right, so we're looking to play any 10-minute uptrend to the upside. All right, but we still have to recognize that there will be ceilings. This is places where sellers have sold before. See, sellers here, sellers. You compress this price action together. All right, you get a big wick, more sellers. You can see the wick there and the red candle, sellers. You can see the wick there and the red candle, sellers. Will today be different? We'll find out. All right, but we're looking to play 10-minute uptrends, green erases red, all right, to the upside. So that's what we're looking for. So there's SPY. All right, so there's a game plan for today. Let's back in here and look at it. Slide this over. Okay, we're looking for price continuation up over 609.65. Okay, so looking for green candles. That's our green erases red entry. All right, not saying that they're going to do that right off the bat. They may pull back and then rise up through it. We'll see what happens. Okay, so over 609.65 is my bullish green erases red entry right out of the gate, unless things change, which they could change over the next hour and 15 minutes. Okay, that's my bullish green erases red entry, 609.65. On the bearish side, underneath 605, if we break through this pivot, I want to be a bear down here, okay? And my targets would be this anchored VWAP and this all-time high anchored VWAP right there, 602.63. SPY pivot today is 605.85. You can see where price went up to this location, kind of bounced away, then went back to it, came back down and rested on it. So that's my pivot, 605.84. Okay, you can see we get underneath this pullback, good chance we're coming all the way back down, and we're going to test the all-time high anchored VWAP. So my negative entry is below 605, all right, and that will be my bearish entry to the downside. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. Look at it on the daily chart, and actually just look at the QQQ game plan. QQQ game plan pretty much the same. The pivot, you can see where price waffled back and forth around. This is 531.87. All right, below it I'm a bear, above it I'm a bull. Red erases green. See the green right there? Well, if red erases that, my entry 530.87. Underneath 530.87 would be a bearish entry. I'd look for that to come down to all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink lines right here. Bullish, green erases red entry, all right? That's going to be right up here over 535.45, all right? So look for QQQ, FNGU to print new all-time highs today. It's a possibility. Either that or we probably rest and we tackle that on Monday. We'll see what happens, all right? So there's QQQ game plan for the daily chart. And let's pull this up. All right, so all of the Fab 5 made, you can see higher highs and higher lows, closing over bullish traps. That's a bullish environment. Over their 17 EMAs, also a bullish environment. Holding the higher ground over their all-time high anchored VWAPs. That's a bullish environment. Up here near the top of quadrant 4, also a bullish environment. So there's QQQ. All of the Fab 5 are in daily uptrends, except for, I think it's Diamond Dow, all right? But they're not moving down, they're moving up, all right? So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM is in an uptrend, but it is not in the upper third, so it's not bullish. Not to say that it won't act bullish today, but I'm just saying that it's not in the upper third. It's just kind of neutral. See, IWM Russell 2000 has a habit of moving up and giving it up, so that's just neutral. All right, we want price action. All right, we want price action where price moves up and holds the higher ground. That is a bullish environment. All right, when price moves up, gives it up, that's just neutral. All right, when price moves up, all right, gives it up, and then more, that's bearish. All right, that's bearish, that's neutral, that's bullish. That's what we're looking for. Okay, that's what we want to find. Neutral's fine, but we want to find that. All right, where price is moving high, holding that higher ground, and we're looking for it to break out to the upside, make another leg up. All right, so IWM, you can see, has a habit of moving up and moving right back, so it's just neutral through here. Notice it is still under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line. All right, so definitely moving up, made a higher high and a higher low. Yesterday's candle. Let's zoom in a little bit here. You can see price action closing almost over the trap, over the 17, not quite there, but still, all right, it's in a daily uptrend. It's got itself in a daily uptrend because here's a high over the 17. They made a higher high. Okay, so they've just been consolidating. Okay, one thing I want to point out, okay, consolidation right here over prior consolidation. Okay, that is a bullish environment. Price makes higher highs and higher lows. That is a bullish environment. Okay, price over the all-time high anchored VWAP, also a bullish environment. Price over the uptrend line, also a bullish environment. Okay, but currently price is not in the upper third. So, all right, it's just neutral through here. They got to show us they can get up here in the upper third and hold. All right. Right now, consolidation over prior consolidation, that's bullish. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow, all right? Diamond Dow is in a downtrend, believe it or not, all right, in this big bull flag. Why? Technically, they just have not made higher highs. We have no highs that came through the 17 here, okay? So we have a high there. So this is a pullback, all right, in the downtrend. If they take out this high right here, they will have a new uptrend. Okay, they will have negated the downtrend and converted the uptrend. If they had to taken out those highs, they would have an uptrend. Right now, they're currently in a bull flag. You can see price action is moving up and then over to the right. Okay, moving up and over to the right. That's a bullish environment. Candle for yesterday, higher low, higher high. That's this green candle right here. Closing over the trap, over the 17, that's bullish. Over the all-time high, anchored VWAP, that's bullish. In the upper third, it's actually in the upper quadrant, that's also bullish. So everything's bullish about Diamond Dow. It just got the stigma of that downtrend label. Not to say that, okay, the 2-hour or the 65-minute are not in uptrends, okay? You might not have a daily uptrend, but you might have a 65-minute uptrend. You could have a weekly uptrend, all right? So we'll see what happens here with Diamond Dow. Looking good, consolidating up here in the upper third, so we love that. All right, so let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU. Price action. Here's the all-time high. Pink line's the anchored VWAP. Higher low. This is yesterday's candle, the green one here, poking up through. Okay, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17. That's a bullish environment. Over the all-time high, anchored VWAP, also another bullish environment. Over the uptrend line, also another bullish environment. Bull flagging in the upper quadrant, also bullish environment. See where price moves up and moves over in quadrant 4, okay? Right up here in quadrant 4. All right, right up here. Okay, this is quadrant 4. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. Yep, this one's 4. Consolidating up here in quadrant 4. That's a bullish environment. All right, let's go take a look at some technicals. All right, FNGU. All right, that's the 10 most heavily weighted stocks, securities in the QQQ and SPY. All right, almost the 10 most, but it's 10 of the probably 10 of the 20 highest ranked. All right, so if we watch this kind of closely, because those heavyweights inside the SPY and the QQQ. Which one's the upper third? None of those are the upper third. You have to eyeball it to figure out the upper third. When you do this for a while, all right, you know this would be the first 25%. This would be the first this would be 50% from here to there. Okay, so this would be 75%. And if you move from this direction back down, you know that this is 25% and this is 50%. So you just kind of take it and you just kind of eyeball right about there. Okay, so right there is going to be the upper third. The upper third. All right. Now you can set up your Fibonacci retracement lines. You know, you can change those to make them look like instead of having them at the 328, you can, or the 318, you can change it to 33. All right, you can use your Fibonacci lines; they work just as well. Yeah, 33.66. Yeah, that would be the number, but that's not the quote Fibonacci number. All right, but you could use that 3.33. It's actually I think 33.33 right there. All right, but we got bullish momentum, right? Thanks, Malcolm. Yeah. All right, so let's go take a look at the technicals. We are in a bullish environment. So let's go take a look at the technicals today. T2122. Yesterday, okay, we came out of prior day's price action. All right, you can see we were in the sell zone and we ended off right here. So we began yesterday ripping up to the buyer's chop zone. All right, so we had a higher low here, leaving off the day before, okay, making a higher high, okay, on yesterday's price action. Again, another higher low, and then another higher high. Looking to get into the buy zone and probably consolidate up here, maybe for a day or two, all right, and then maybe next week I'd like to see another move up. So this is the buy zone. We wound up meandering our way or trading our way up to the top of the buyer's chop zone. All right, so there's T2122. T2123 represents T2122 almost exactly. You can see price moves up, consolidates over to the right. Okay, price moves up and consolidates over to the right. Then price moves up and then consolidates over there to the right. Okay, that's exactly what we want. That's a bullish environment. Up over the rising 200 period moving average right there. So things looking good, all right? They're showing us that they're interested in taking this higher. All right? That is consolidation over the 200 period moving average. Okay, so you can see price, all right, on this chart moves up from here, and then we consolidate over to the right. That's a bullish environment. Okay, we're up over the 200 SMA. Also a bullish environment. All right, let's go check out the same chart on the 3-bar time frame. All right, and here's the 3-bar. Again, same price action. Why? It's the same chart. Price moves up and over to the right. Notice on the 3-bar we are under the 200 SMA. This is bullish consolidation. Where's the next target? I would suspect the next target to be this valley low right here. You can see price moves up, all right, and then moves back. That creates a peak. When price moves up and moves back, that creates a peak. Okay, now when it moves back and then moves up, that creates a valley. All right, so here's a peak and a valley. A valley between two peaks typically becomes a target, and I would suspect that price will probably be coming up to that target, which is just over this 200 SMA. So I'll erase my arrows and I'll get the crosshairs up. Actually, I'll just duplicate that, and you can see where the valley lines up. Okay, you can see the valley lines up with the 200 SMA. So we would want price to move up to that number, hopefully on top, and consolidate over it. All right, so that's going to be our target. After, if they do more bullish consolidation up here, in other words, if price, all right, moves up to here and then consolidates over to the right, we would look for the next valley, which would be right here. Price moves from a peak back to a low, then back up to a peak. That creates a valley between two peaks. That would be the next target. So I'll duplicate this again. All right, and that creates the next target as the next valley between two peaks. That will be our next target. All right, and then we'll look for price to pull up here and then consolidate. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. All right, we got a nice rise and hold right now. Okay, let's just get over the 200, and then we'll talk about the next valley up and the all-time highs. All right, so that's what we're looking for to happen. It's not going to happen in one day. We may get up here in one day, but it's not going to happen. We're going to take out new all-time highs in one day. All right, so that's probably not going to happen. But that would be the typical sequence of events to see price move in that fashion as it moves back up towards those highs. Okay, so these are two prior all-time highs right here. And you can see price action has bounced off of those. That's what we like, the V-bottom bounce. All right, and you can see currently price action. All right, you have consolidation over prior consolidation. That is a bullish environment. A V-bottom, also a bullish environment. All right, so everything's looking good. All right, just need this over the 200. That would be a little bit better. Okay, but we aren't moving down, so that's good. All right, so there's T2123. Let's take a look at FNGU. Price action for FNGU. Price is moving up, making higher lows and higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. Bullish environment. Up over 200 SMA. Bullish environment. All of that over all-time high anchored VWAP. Also bullish environment. All right? They're moving up and they're holding the higher ground. That's exactly what we want to see. All right? Let me back out a little bit more. I don't know if I can. Anyways, right there. You can see price action holding up along this, right over this uptrend lines. So that's looking good, FNGU. All right, let's go take a look at some of the sectors. All right, this is looking good. Back up here at the highs. See, we're within striking distance of the all-time high. Okay, all-time high right there, 697.80, 10-day ATR. So the average true range is $28.99. So you take the average that price moves in a 24-hour period, well, that's $28.99. Okay, the high, 697.80. Where are we today? 682.88. We're well within striking distance of tapping a new all-time high today. All right, we are in the range. We'll see if they want to get it done. All right, let's take a look at some sectors. First sector we'll look at, let's look at XLE. All right, XLE on the daily time frame. This is our energy sector, okay? Technically, it's in a downtrend, all right? The reason, all right, it took out this low. See the low below the 17, took out that low, took out that low, took out that low. So it's in a downtrend, all right? Now, in order to negate the downtrend, they got to make a higher high, okay? They have not made a higher high yet. Okay, so price comes down. It's in a downtrend. This is a pullback in the downtrend. Okay, there's no peaks over the 17 through here. Pullback in the downtrend. Still didn't make a higher high. Okay, so what they did was they put in a lower high, and now they just put in a higher low. So we're looking for the bulls with this higher low to be inspired enough to come in and take out the lower high, creating a higher high, and therefore negating the downtrend label, because that's all it is, all right, and creating an uptrend, all right, for XLE. XLE has a habit of moving up and giving it up, all right. We need XLE to move up and hold. It's not been able to do that. It got up into quadrant 4, and it gives it up and more. All right, so that's like a bearish environment there. See how it moves up to quadrant 4 and gives it up. Okay, so it's just neutral. All right, not only that, it's underneath the all-time high, the 12-month high anchored VWAP right there. Okay, so there's 12-month high. There's the pink line. We're under the 12-month high anchored VWAP. We're under the downtrend line. We're under this downtrend line, okay? We're under the upper third. They have a habit of moving up and giving it up. They're not bearish, but they're not bullish either, because they haven't shown us they're bullish by holding the higher ground. So they're just neutral. Price action yesterday, lower high, lower low. closing under the trap, under the 17, but over the bullish side of neutrality. That's the midpoint, the 50-yard line, okay? So this is the dashed line right through there. So they're just neutral right through there. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG, yesterday's candle. Let me make sure I got the right one. This is yesterday's candle. Okay, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17 EMA. That's bullish. All right, over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, also bullish. Up here in quadrant 4, also bullish. All right, making higher lows. Will they make a higher high? They did here. Can they do it here? That's also bullish. All right, so this was the buy box for the pullback right here. I like it when price pulls back to minor support and then rips to a new high. All right, we got close yesterday, but no cigar. Hopefully we consolidate and hold the higher ground for once instead of moving up and giving it up all the time. All right, so there's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. All right, USO, price action yesterday, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, okay? If USO takes out this low right here, they'll have a downtrend because they made a high over the 17 here, which creates a peak. Then this will make the downtrend status. Okay, had they not done that, they would have had to take out this low to negate their uptrend. All right, they got themselves in an uptrend by making a higher high. Here's a high, they made a higher high. Currently, they're in an uptrend. But they can negate that uptrend by creating a lower high and taking out this low. All right. So there's USO in an uptrend, but not moving up. This is a pullback in the uptrend. All right. Notice they came right into the buy box there. Okay. Price action up over. This is a 3-year high anchored VWAP right there. Up over the 3-year high anchored VWAP. Only in quadrant 3, not in the upper third, so it's just neutral. All right, again, they have a habit of moving up and giving it up. Okay, they're not bearish, all right, but they're not bullish because they can't hold the higher ground. Okay, they're not bullish because they can't hold the higher ground. We want to see securities that have the ability to hold the higher ground. There's USO. Let's take a look at GLD. All right, GLD, new all-time high. Let me make sure that's yesterday's candle. It is. Higher high, higher low, new all-time high. Okay, enough said about that. SLV. SLV in an uptrend. All right, they made a higher high right here. There's a high, they made higher highs. Okay, so here's a low, there's a high, they made a higher high. There's a low, that's a higher low, and they made another higher high over that one. Okay, then they made a higher high over that one. Okay, so they're in an uptrend right now. Price action yesterday, and make sure I got the right candle. All right, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. That's bullish. Over the 17, also bullish. Over this 12-year high anchored VWAP, all right, also bullish. Up in the upper third, also bullish. Okay, so SLV, bullish. Let's take a look at SMH. SMH, higher low, higher high, up in the upper third, that's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, also bullish. Can't seem to hold quadrant 4. Notice they get up here and they give it up each time. Okay, currently they're bullish. Can they finally get up there and hold? Well, we'll find out. So that's looking good. Semiconductors, XLK, technology. Notice they can hold quadrant 4. Price action up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in quadrant 4, also bullish. Semiconductors and technology, bullish. XLF. XLF holding quadrant 4 in a bull flag, also bullish. Okay, consolidating in the upper quadrant 4, that's bullish. Let's take a look at it. IYT, it's the last one, and we hit the economic package, holding the higher ground for once instead of moving up and giving it up. So there are transports Yesterday's price action. Let's see if we can find it. This candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. That's bullish. Over the 17, that's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, also bullish. Up over the uptrend line, also bullish. Transports are bullish. Technology's bullish. Semiconductors are bullish. Financials are bullish. You got 4 of the Fab 5 are bullish. I think even Diamond Dow, which is in technically a downtrend, but acting bullish. IWM kind of neutral. All right, so that one's not in an up. It's in an uptrend, but not acting bullish. All right, Diamond Dow is. IWM is not. Okay, so you've got the perfect storm or the perfect ingredients to make the new all-time high cake. Okay, you've got everything for a really nice, robust rally. You could see price rip, all right, with a short squeeze. All right, we got 2 puts to each call today. You could see price rip all the way up to 620. If they put the pressure on the shorts, you got some puts, you could see price rip all the way to 620. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna go hit the economic calendar. I'm gonna call it a day. All right. All right, for today, we got retail sales, 830. All right, so that's already came in. Hey, thank you, Alan. Import-export prices, also 830. Industrial production, 915. Business inventories at 10. Okay, so really light day. All right, not too bad as far as economic goes. Earnings reports. Not much on the calendar today. Okay, let's look at Friday. All right. Nothing really over $100 billion. All right, there's some familiar names here, but nothing that's going to move the markets. Okay, nothing that's really going to affect the markets. When the economic data came out, okay, economic data right here, okay, nothing, unless it's way out of line, is probably not going to move the markets. What tends to move the markets are news of new tariffs and stuff like that. Okay, that will have a small effect on the market and could send the market into a tailspin. All right, so that will have probably a bigger effect than this. All right, that's what causes disruptions in the markets. Okay, so we got the earnings, we did the economic calendar. Max Pain 604 is Max Pain. 2 puts to each call. Okay, that expired today. And let's take a look at the dollar. Dollar's in a downtrend, making lower highs and making lower lows. Here's a low, made a lower low. There's a low, made a lower low. Okay, making lower lows. This is good. A weak dollar makes our goods and services that we do here produce here in the USA more affordable to the foreign countries. That makes us more competitive in the global market space. We want a weak dollar. I know the consumer doesn't want a weak dollar, but we want a weak dollar because it gives us more buying power and gives not our vendors, the foreign countries that need our goods and services. All right, so that's it for today. All right, I'm going to come back in about 35 minutes, and I will start you off. All right, for the morning. Again, we're looking for a green candle. All right, thank you everybody out there in Cyberland, Digiland. Happy Valentine's Day again. Appreciate that. I'll see you guys in the room here in about 30 minutes.